It's race week and I'm headed off to Amsterdam. I look busted. I barely packed. I know I have my race kit and my nutrition. That's what I need. But it's time to go to the airport. So wish me luck. What's up, team? Welcome to my channel. My name's Jess. I'm a trainer, a fitness professional here in LA. And the Amsterdam Marathon vlog is going to be my first video. I've actually been filming vlogs for probably the last 6 months and even have a few that are half edited. But I've been too nervous, too lazy. Now it's time to introduce myself to the internet. In this video, I'm going to take you through my full extended weekend of the Amsterdam Marathon, and just so you know ahead of time, this trip was terrible, but the course is beautiful. There's a lot of amazing things to see in Amsterdam, and I might have a couple tips and tidbits along the way. A little bit about me if you just stumbled on this video, since this is my first vlog. I am a trainer here in LA. I spent the last several years as a national talent manager and master trainer for Rumble Boxing. I've now done 2 marathons and some other really cool running events, like the 4448 I vlogged and never posted, so maybe that'll be the next one I put up. I'm running hyrox Chicago in just a few weeks' time as my first hyrox, and then got doubles in Anaheim a few weeks after that. Anyways, off track. You know what, screw it, let's get into the vlog. Luggage was lost, but we made it to the Airbnb. We are in Amsterdam, and it's very cute. There's more light as we go up. Are you ready? Say hi to the vlog.
Hello vlog, how are you?
And it keeps going. Whoa, that's pretty fun. There we are. Where do I even start in talking about this trip? I got on my Turkish Airlines flight from LA to Istanbul. Already, I picked a bad flight because...
Why did I fly like over an hour past Amsterdam to have a layover?
To save a couple bucks, that's why. So here's what happened.
Whatever I ate on the flight, the food was good, but something had me not feeling right. I got off the plane. I go check my gate for Istanbul to Amsterdam. I'm like, oh, they're not even boarding yet. Go to the bathroom.
Try to vomit.
Got it out of my system, felt better. But when I came back out, the plane was gone. So did I take that long? Or did I check the wrong gate before? I don't know what happened. But I missed my flight.
I go to the Turkish Airlines counter. Hey, you gotta help me out. To change that ticket, it's gonna be $1,200. I'm like, but it's only gonna cost me $250 to just book a flight from here to Amsterdam.
Is my baggage still gonna go to Amsterdam? The guy was like, yes, your baggage is gonna go to Amsterdam.
Guess what? My baggage did not get sent to Amsterdam. All I have is what I'm wearing now, which is what I've worn for over 24 hours now. I don't have any toiletries, like any makeup, any of my like skincare that I would usually wear. But the Airbnb is pretty cute, or whatever we booked this through. So I think the plan now is got to get some breakfast, go to the expo, and we'll see what we get into from there. It can't get any crazier. I'm not going to say it can't, but I'm like, will it get any crazier? I hope not. I hope we could just chill. Look, I did my best to keep a good attitude despite all the craziness, and it's really not that hard in a wonderful city like Amsterdam, especially with this great expo. Now, bib pickup, super fast. We waited behind like 2 people. Despite there being like 40,000 marathon runners, 60,000 runners total, something like that. I might be lying a little bit. T-shirt pickup, also fast. Vendors, a lot of them. Now, there weren't all the people that I would expect at a race this big. I guess the only other race I went to bigger than this was Chicago, which is a world major, so I don't exactly know what I was expecting. That being said, I still did buy some sunglasses. When we left the expo, we went to Museum Square, where we ended up at Rijksmuseum. Now, this is a huge museum with Rembrandts, Van Goghs, tons of Dutch national artifacts, and it is beautiful. That being said, museums are a lot of walking around on your feet, so we didn't do everything in detail, and we made sure to get to the carbs. Speaking of carbs, we ended Friday night with a dinner with folks from back home. We met up with friends from Venice Run Club. We all had an entire pizza to ourselves, as well as some tiramisu, and I thoroughly enjoyed both the laughs, company, and food. It may be Saturday morning, but it's time to head to Sunday Run Club Shakeout with Brandon and David, who are two of the people I know back home from Venice Run Club. Now, we got a full warm-up in, which I feel like I needed. I was still feeling stiff from both the plane or maybe all the walking, before a 5K run around Vondel Park, where we shared some laughs and talks about race plans and tourist plans. On this route, we also got to see the 2K mark and the 40K mark, which was nice to kind of get in the headspace for race day. Now, this cheering is so freaking cool to me. Both runners from other run clubs, but mostly just pedestrians who were out enjoying their Saturday morning, were giving us a round of applause. Cheering before the race was something I did not expect. Afterwards, we got some pancakes. I wanted to get those Dutch little pancakes, but we were hungry and we got the first thing we could, and they were pretty good. The rest of the day was spent napping and relaxing all the way up until dinner. Now, for dinner, I had planned to do a more traditional pre-race Italian pasta, but I didn't think to make a reservation, and it was the night before a marathon, so a lot of places we wanted to go were full. That being said, we made do and had some bready foods with some bruschetta and ravioli that was quite delicious, even though it may not have been exactly what I was looking for. It did the job. Just like that, we've made it to race day morning. Now, of course, I gotta show you the flat lay, the matching bandit top and shorts, and all of the fuel I plan to use race day morning, as well as the Nathan handheld. By the way, not shown in this picture, I rocked the Adios Pro 4. It was an early start, and fairly cold, at least for me coming from LA kind of day. So what I did was drink my coffee under the covers, turn the heat all the way up in the shower, and turn the heat up in the room as well, because 50 something degrees and I was going to be outside for quite a while before starting. Had to get one. Pre-race look, super simple, glow screen, which is a tinted sunscreen, brow gel, clear mascara, because I knew I was going to be crying. Then we headed off to the start line where there was a Joe's right there in Starters Village, where we were able to get warm, eat and drink some more, and just get our head in the game. Okay, marathon morning, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, feeling fresh, feeling strong. Yeah, surprisingly, I feel really good. So I don't know. I'm just gonna try to run as many people down as I can.
Okay, nice. That means you gotta start in a way that'll give you something to chase people down with towards the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we have second breakfast, cadence bar, cappuccino. Quite big though. It is 7:36. Start will be around 9:10 for us. We are in the second wave outside the stadium. Plan is to try to find the 3:30 pace group and stick with them depending how we're feeling.
I did. Just as though I just did.
How are we feeling?
Feel good. Ready to run. Ready to run Amsterdam.
What are your pre-race thoughts?
Pre-race thoughts. Doesn't matter what happened before this. We're here now. Just want to leave it all out there. And yeah, I think it's a privilege to be healthy.
Privilege to be healthy-ish.
To get to the start line, just to get to the start line is a win. I would love to PR.
Yeah.
Or run around 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
A little nervous, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous too, but it's like,
That's a good thing.
I think once the gun goes off,
You are good.
yeah, there's like some pre-race there. So after the first 2 miles, we'll say.
I love big races. Like, I like being around all the people and seeing the signs and stuff like that. About 15 minutes pre-race, I took my last gel, stretched out a little bit, and headed to my place in the start corral. Also gross. Look at that cute couple hugging behind me. I want that. Anyways, energy, crazy. Even once the race got going, spectators, amazing. They put your name on the bib, so you get to hear people say your name the whole time. Amazing. Whatever the hell is on screen, amazing. That being said, my race was not so amazing. I'll break it down in a recap here at the end, but just know that the marathon hurts, it's heartbreaking, but this one is a very good one to run even when you don't have a good day. Despite this video of me crying afterwards, just overwhelmed with emotion. Neither happy nor sad, just unable to hold back my tears while I eat a banana and sit on the ground with my shoes off. I needed some time to wind down before I met up with everyone. I think they did too, because we didn't text each other like immediately right away. But it's a really cool finish. It finishes in the stadium, and you can go watch everyone come in and cheer on your friends. That being said, you may see some stuff that makes you both happy and depressed, like this.
She said yes. Ladies and gentlemen, she said yes!
Screw me, right? Anyways, let's get into the race recap. Okay, for the race recap, especially because I didn't post my training despite videotaping a lot of it leading up to this race, I'll try to keep it fairly short and concise so we don't have to get into all the back context. But goal time was 3:30 to 3:35. That's what I was going to be pretty stoked with. A++ day would have been like in 2:29, like just sub 3:30. All of my predictions, Strava, Runna, Koros, everything that I checked it against was giving me like 3:25, and I'm like, I didn't train for that, so I don't think that's possible. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Okay, stop itching, please. First few miles, I was having a hard time finding my pace. The plan was to go out with the 3:30 pace group and stick with them for ideally the whole race. And even though I saw them in the start corral, I immediately lost them crossing the line and couldn't see them anywhere ahead of me and was not able to catch up. I actually didn't see them again until probably mile 14 or 15. I caught on to the back of them for a while, but I never ended up passing them, and I didn't end up sticking with them either. Back to the top. First 3 miles, I just had a hard time finding my pace to lock into. Mile 1, 7:51. 8:02, 8:05, 7:45, 7:48. So not terrible pacing, but not great either if I, in my head, wanted to be at like a 7:55. I was feeling strong. I was feeling smooth, very good about my gel, taking them every 5K. 7:48, 7:51, 7:51, 7:51, 7:53, 7:49, 7:51. Those miles from 5 to over the half marathon, I felt great. I felt steady. I felt in a rhythm. It was around that half marathon point where I realized, oh, my handheld is still over halfway full. And during a training run, I go through like 2 of these. The weather was just so much cooler than what I trained in. I trained in the 70s and 80s, and it was 50 degrees. So I didn't have the desire to drink, and it's not like I could feel sweat pouring down off me. When we finished the race, my clothes were wet. I was sweating, but it just evaporated in a different way, and I probably wasn't sweating quite as much. That may come back to bite me later. Mile 14, 7:51, 7:48, 7:55, 7:56, 7:59, 7:55. Oh, let's back up to mile 18. Mile 18, that 7:59, I did vomit. So not only was I drinking less fluids than usual, but I threw up mid-run. Now, I didn't feel all that bad right after throwing up, and you could see that, hey, I slowed down a few seconds for that 7:59 in mile 18 where I vomited, but 19, a whole nother mile after, I still averaged a 7:55. But here's where it gets bad. People hit the mile at wall 20. People hit the wall at mile 20. That's what they tell you. And apparently that's what I did, because mile 20, we went a whole minute and 10 seconds slower to a 9:11, followed by 8:44, 9:45, 9:52, 9:56. That was mile 20 to 24. And I didn't really continue to have GI distress. What I got was terrible frickin' calf cramps. And so these miles that were in the high 9s included probably 2 to 3, 10 to 15 seconds, let me stretch out my calves per mile. So I probably was running a bit slower, like maybe around 8:15 to 8:30. That's what I remember seeing on my watch as well. But I was stopping several times to stretch out my calves. At first, I tried to run through it, but then it was like they were just balled up in the top of my leg and they would not release. It was so bad, like as soon as I got done with the race, I crossed the finish line. First thing I did was take off my shoes and try to stretch my calves and get my heel down. It was bananas, okay? I did find a second wind though, but Was it a second wind, or did I just run through my calf cramps knowing that the end was in sight? Because I picked it back up from a 9:56 down to a 9:11 for mile 25, to an 8:48 for mile 26, and the last 0.4, because you tend to run longer than a marathon in the marathon with all the weaving around. The last 0.4 was a 7:52. That being said, running through my calf cramps, probably not a great idea, because the next time I tried to run a few days later, I got severe calf strain. I was already walking funny. I don't know why I tried to run as early as I did. I was like hobbling along, but I was like, you know what? We're gonna, run, just like run, walk, shake it out, see how we feel. I've been off running for 5 days at this point. And I ended up with like a big bruise on the back of my calf, and it was completely strained, and I got some PT done for it. And now it's been like, 2 weeks? I'm fine. I could run on it. I have some things and exercises I need to do for it. Anyways, should I tell you about my travel home? Okay, so I had all the travel stuff on the way there, and I knew it was a possibility that I wouldn't be able to work it out with customer service and get like my flight not canceled for the way back to LA without having to pay for it. But it was going to be cheaper to just buy the additional flight, right? Which is crazy. I bought 2 flights for this one trip. Get insurance, maybe don't try to save a couple bucks going way far out of the way. What? Dude, tell me why when I get to the airport and decided it's better to just buy another ticket, I can't work it out with Turkish Airlines. The frickin' Amazon Web Services crashed and nothing is working. I cannot buy a flight after this. I waited 3 hours. To make matters worse, I did not know Amazon Web Services was down at the time. So tell me why I'm sitting there being like, why are all my cars getting declined? Meanwhile, it's after midnight in the States. I'm calling my friends, texting my friends, can someone buy me a flight? By the time they wake up, I figured it out. Amazon Web Services. Is that the video? Okay, well, if you found any of that entertaining or useful for your next trip to Amsterdam and the Amsterdam Marathon, or you're just interested in seeing what I get up to after this, hyrox Chicago, hyrox Anaheim, Madrid Marathon, planning on Chicago next year, and a bunch of smaller races in between, let me know. I have a training video that I'm planning on posting that I also filmed a long time ago with an incredible coach, Michaela Foss, who has worked with MLB, NFL, and regular people like you and me. Have a video where she trains me. It's okay if these first couple vlogs suck. Stick with me. Let me know what you want to see, because I do a lot of cool stuff, I think. And if there's certain things you think are cool that you would want me to share, I'd be happy to.